how much content is important right now.
Very important. I mean, it was important from day one. Looking at, the journey 5 years back, 10 years back.
What are the few things that a seller should have must in their images?
Well, I think the first thing the seller needs to understand is who the buyer persona is, who you're selling to. It's a mom, it's a dad, it's a female in her early 30s, late 30s, early 40s. Like, you need to understand the avatar first.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rich Sellers Podcast. Today, I joined by Mr. Saddam here from AMZ One Step, and we are going to discuss today about creatives and how it impacts the conversion rate in Amazon. Hello, Mr. Saddam. How are you doing?
Good, Sammy. Thank you for having me on the podcast. Really excited to be speaking about creatives. It's our bread and butter at AMZ One Step. So any chance I get, I'd love to kind of create awareness about it and the new products and new trends that are rolling out.
Yeah. So Rafael is also here. Let me just let him in. Hi, Rafael. How are you doing?
Hey, my guys, how's it going?
Yeah.
What up, what up?
So, Mr. Rafael, we have Mr. Saddam here from AMZ One Step.
How's it going, gentlemen?
Good.
Guys, thank you so much
Okay.
for having me. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. So, Mr. Rafael, would you like to start with a small introduction about yourself?
Yeah, for sure. My name is Rafael. I'm the founder of ShareItStudio. I'm a filmmaker. Been doing videos, commercials since 2009. My first big gig was in 2010. I did 2 music videos. Pretty cool. And then did a lot of cool things in the industry. I worked for Nickelodeon, CNN, Telemundo, did a lot of feature films, was production assistant for Tom Hanks, Uma Thurman, did a lot of cool things. In 2017, I was working at Nickelodeon. And my the executive producer of Nickelodeon was like, hey, dude, like my friends found these things on Amazon. Can you make a commercial for it? I was like, sure, let's do it. And his sales started increasing. And then he asked me to do photos, and I did as well. And that did really well as well. So I talked to my mentor because I had ShareItStudio on the side, but I was doing a lot of other stuff, real estate, gastronomy, a bunch of other stuff, restaurants. And my mentor was like, hey, maybe you should focus on this. So with my marketing background, my filmmaking background, I focused on Amazon. So now full-time Amazon employee, I guess. I don't know how to say it.
That's great. That's great. Mr. Saddam, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. Unlike Rafael, I did not have a background in filmmaking or creatives. I jumped into Amazon back in 2017. That's when I started selling. Late 2016, early 2017. The dates are a bit hazy. But I was also sort of doing meetups in Canada. So I had some small groups within different cities doing meetups across Canada, learning from people who also sell on Amazon. And people started sort of asking me about Amazon designers. Do you guys have any? So I would always pair them up with my designer that I use, but then I just decided might as well kind of start white labeling it. And the designer we had was awesome. He has his own company now, but slowly we decided to create a team, and from there, fast forward to 2022. This was back in 2017 when we started, mid 2017. And fast forward to 2023, we're up to about 150 team members in 6 different countries. So, yeah, that was a bit about my intro.
That was great. That was great. So, I think you all guys started very early in Amazon. But if we just talk about Amazon and selling into Amazon, 2015, 16, that was kind of a time when we can put on anything and that would sell, right? But right now, things have changed. It has completely turned around. And if you have not a proper content and if your creatives are not good, you will lag behind the conversion rate. So when we talk about content, Mr. Saddam, would you like to light on this topic, like how much content is important right now? Now, when we talk about content, I mean specifically about images, creatives, videos, all those parts. How it is important so much right now when you talk about 2023?
Very important. I mean, it was important from day one. looking at the journey 5 years back, 10 years back, yes, there was less competition, and yes, there was less paid ads involved. You could easily rank organically. So the need for having really good imagery and videos was kind of not there at the time. So you could get away with it, you could get ranked. But now brands are getting more sophisticated in their approach. And the reason is because people are moving away from just having one successful product to a pure brand presence on a platform. So you look at like storefronts, you look at the brand story, which we might talk about in a bit. A plus premium content, Amazon posts, you have like social media happening on Amazon, with Amazon live streaming. There's so many different placements and opportunities for brands to kind of convey a message to their community of what they represent and how they represent themselves through their products. So it's becoming really important now that brands take a sophisticated approach, because if you're not doing that, you're behind the curve already. More than half the people on Amazon are taking advantage of all the placements. And just by you not tapping into those opportunities will keep you so behind than the rest of the competition.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that was spot on. Rafael, do you want to add something to it?
Yeah, man, of course. The industry is changing. It changes almost every day. Last year wasn't the same as this year, and before that, same. Amazon in 2015, 2016, 2017 was rather quote unquote easy, right? But every year is going to get difficult. So right now, I would say it's easy compared to what's going to be in 3 years from now. Amazon's taking an approach of being the best. It is number one, but it wants to maintain being number one. That's why they're pushing more ways to offer a better selling experience to its customers. Because remember, unless you're a big brand, it's not your customer, it's Amazon customer. They're looking for keywords. That's why people look for keywords. That's why you rank for keywords. And they are targeting more towards building brand building, basically, like Saddam was saying. And it's just part of a global aspect of Amazon. Like there are brands right now that actually start off Amazon and go off Amazon, expand into other areas because they're already so big on Amazon. There's a brand called Liliana Naturals, for example. They started in 2017 on Amazon. It's a beauty brand. Now you can find them in Walgreens, for example. That's huge. Before it wasn't like that. Now it is. That's why content is so important because it helps you build a brand. Saddam was talking about Amazon Post, very important. Amazon Post and all these other things that Amazon's rolling out. For example, I don't know if you guys know, but there's something called Amazon Inspire, right? Amazon Inspire is like a TikTok-like version for Amazon. Amazon understands that they're on the number one selling platform marketplace. So now they're going to more social, and that's how they're going to build credibility for the long run and stay number one for years to come. Maybe in my lifetime they won't be number two. I don't know yet. Let's see.
Yeah, I think that was a clear explanation about why content is so much important right now.
Mhm.
So let's talk about images a little bit. Okay. So when you talk about images, because it is not same, right? It is not like we just put on images with white background and every such images will work. There's a lot of things that we need to show off, lifestyle shots, the product in use, all those things. So, Rafael, when you talk about this kind of images, what are the few things that a seller should have must in their images? When you talk about listing images, we can go later on about A plus and all, but specifically to listing images, what are the few key features that sellers should have must in their listing images?
Well, I think the first thing the seller needs to understand is who the buyer persona is, who you're selling to. Is it a mom? Is it a dad? Is it a female in her early 30s, late 30s, early 40s? Like you need to understand your avatar first, and then start creating content for it. As well, understanding your niche and understanding the product. Is it a low ticket product, high ticket product? Can you use stock images? If is it a beauty product, then you should definitely go all in and go I would say what we call organic in our studio, meaning that's something that
Hmm.
really connects with the consumer and makes them feel
Yeah.
safe. That's what marketing is, just feeling. That's how marketing is very old, as you all know. So it's all that emotional connection, humanizing the product, making a connection, telling the story. If you're able to tell the story correctly, then you'll be able to sell and convert. But depending on each image has a function, right? So you got the hero images, which they're to drive traffic. You got the infographics to tell more of the story. You got the lifestyles. Those are more of a connection builder because it showcases the product in actual use.
Hmm.
So depending on the image, each image has its own plan and its own, I would say, way to make buyer, potential buyer, feel like, hey, I actually do need this product, and I'm not spending my $100, $50, whatever it is, on this product
Mhm.
instead of the competition that might be even cheaper in the same product that came from the same factory.
Yeah. Saddam, do you want to add something to it?
Yeah, no, I think Rafael touched on a few really good points. I think everything has to be very consciously curated when it comes to images. So we are in an era of like very little attention spans with TikTok and Instagram. Everyone is just kind of scrolling through the feed, so that's why Amazon is placing a lot of emphasis, moving from textual to visual formats. And part of it is just to give the buyer the information that they really want, because otherwise they're going to lose interest really quickly. So as they scroll through one image to the other, every image has its own purpose. So we don't really define how many lifestyle images we need to do or how many infographics we need to do. We have to define what the customers are really looking for when they're making a decision. Cute puppy there. And really, once you start prioritizing what they need to see first, that will convey a message and purpose within each and every image.
Hmm.
So that's the front end of it. But then everything goes around it as well. So the emotion that Raphael talked about, how do you invoke that within an image? You can't just invoke it by text. It has to be visually done through a messaging, and it has to spike that emotion. A problem that they need solved is something that is showcased within that image. How does a brand represent itself? I think Raphael touched on the voice of the brand. That's really important. So I'll give you an example. Last year, I started shopping through My Protein. Before that, I was looking for a supplement company. I'm lazy, so I wanted something that's e-com based. And I came across My Protein. Really good products. Everything was vegan as well, so that was a really good appeal to that. And then I saw that they had something around sustainability and how they raise, the agriculture and production, how that's done in a sustainable manner. Now, I'm not someone who goes after sustainability, nor am I educated on that topic. But what that told me was they care about their customers. They listen to the customers. Sustainability was something that's important to millennials, and then they curated that in response on their website. So the same terminology, I know I'm going off of a tangent, but the same kind of approach needs to be on Amazon, where everything is so intentional and it has to represent a character, the customer avatar, and it has to speak to them like that person. Shouldn't be a brand's voice, it should be a person's voice.
Yeah, I think you guys made a really important point here to showcase your customer avatar. Who is it that is going to buy this product, right? So, also, in order to get to this point as well, previously, Brand Analytics used to give us a demographics report. From last month, I think they have removed it. But I think sellers got a lot of options. If you want to find out who is the right fit for your product, you got a lot of options like Chat GPT that can you can simply command one or two pop prompts and it will give you who is this product made for or who is going to use it, and you can then talk to the agency that you are doing the images or creatives to tell them that this is the exact target audience that we are targeting, and they are professional enough to showcase all those stories into your images. Yeah, I think that was a great explanation done by you guys. So now moving on, listing images, we are done with it. Now let's talk about videos. So when you talk about videos, the ads that are used as a video ad, those are limited to 45 seconds. But the videos that we can put in the listing, those might not have the limitation. And previously, when we used to go back and see the listing images, the videos, those videos were very dull, kind of slideshow videos. Those doesn't really use to convert a lot. But right now, when you talk about videos, maybe Saddam, you can take this. When you talk about videos, what are the kind of scripts or what are the kind of ingredients a video should contain?
Mhm. Yeah, and again, there's different terminologies, different names for it. The one that you're talking about is a highlight video, is what we call it in-house here. Just kind of giving a
Okay.
360 for the product, talking about the features. Very simple, right? But then there's lifestyle videos or product and use videos where you showcase it with a model, and there's different layers on how you approach a video. some videos like supplements or tech products, you maybe just need an explainer video where someone is just talking about the product, and those kind of videos are so easy to make. You need UGC content, user generated content.
Yeah.
I think there's an app called Billow which will do it under $100, right? So stuff like that. And then unboxing videos, that's something that you can use influencers for. Really good. In order, if your packaging is premium and your product is premium, there's a few others too, right? But comparison video is a good one. So if your product has something unique, you can do a comparison video. I know there was someone talking about poop bags and how theirs was organic. I heard it on a podcast somewhere. And they said all we did for a video was basically do a lab test on both poop bags, one that was competition claiming that it was 100% organic, and one that was ours. And the one that kind of melted was the one that was 100% organic, and it was ours. So something like that you can prove, great. That's a comparison video right there. But each and every video has, again, its own impact. If you're looking at a video ad, 45 seconds is too short, right? So you're probably just kind of showcasing the product in use and calling out the features. But on the listing, maybe a longer format of that same video can be placed where you tie in a story. And just to give you a quick example on that, let's say I just came back from Mexico, so I sunburned, so maybe I can give you an example from there. Sunscreen. Let's suppose you talk about sunscreen's feature of how long it can provide protection for, maybe 4 hours. If it's on a 360 background and the text pops up, sure, it's going to have an impact. But if you put voiceover, just by putting voiceover on there, a lot of people will take note of that they missed out in a text. Now let's take it a step further. You are showcasing a girl in the video who is going and going for a hike, going for like water sports. She has her whole day planned out, and there's the clock ticking, and it's showing you that the sunscreen is still giving her protection. So I think if we get to that third layer, that's going to be a lot more effective, and you can place that on your listing, your video ad. But a longer format should also go on the listing video, which ties in the community, which ties in the story. So maybe that girl, I don't know, just to give you an example, maybe that girl has anxiety when she steps out, but she can rely on the sunscreen. So everywhere she goes, this sunscreen is there to protect her. Something like that ties in the story. Um, so yeah, I know I talked about a few examples, but you can elevate it as you put on, a voiceover, the product in action, and then connecting it with a story.
Yeah, exactly. I think Rafael, you have something to add.
Yeah, a thing or two. Definitely, there are several type of videos. Well, on top of my head, I can tell you that we use sponsor ads videos, which is what
Hmm.
someone calls the videos, which is a video that appears when you search for a keyword, let's say sunscreen, and you'll see a bunch of images, right? You'll see a bunch of sponsored videos, maybe topics, articles, highly rated, etc. And then you'll scroll down, and possibly in the middle or the bottom of the page, you'll see a little video. That's the only video. Max, I seen three in that search result page. That's what we call sponsor ad videos. So those are, for me, are the most important videos because they drive traffic. That the only purpose of that video is to drive traffic. Why? Because they make you click. If you click on the video, it'll take you to the listing, right? And you cannot sell. People are not going to buy it if they don't click the listing. So they won't see the A plus. They will see the rest of the images. So
Yeah.
that's the most important video for me at ShareItStudio, at least, to drive traffic. And then you got a bunch of other videos. You get the listing video, like Saddam was saying, which is more to tell the story of the product. Those are the top two. And then you got the videos for the premium A plus content, the related videos. You got videos for Amazon Inspire. You got video for the Amazon Store. There's a bunch of other videos that you can be using. But let's focus at least in the top two. So let's compare something rather easy, which is sponsor ads videos. Think of it of like a Super Bowl commercial, okay? So that commercial is just to grab your attention, like, hey, I'm here, check me out. That's the idea for that video, at least the way we see it and the way that's worked for us so far. And then the listing video is a video that tells more about the story. Maybe it's a sunscreen that it's highly effective, but it's new in the market, and people usually tend to be a little bit hesitant when they change what they consider normal. Toothpaste, your phone from an Apple to an Android, like those kind of changes are kind of hard. So you really need to sell that product in a way that's not overly complicated, because the longer it is, the attention span right now is so small. So you have to tell as fast as possible and as effective as possible. So for example, our sponsor ads videos, we don't do them for 45 seconds. Nobody watches 45 seconds. The watch through rate of that is like super small. So our videos, the first frame has to be a frame that just catches your attention. It can even be something not related to the actual, not completely related to the actual product, but something that's semi-related but really sparks an imagination. Maybe it's like, I don't know. Let's use the sunscreen. Maybe it's like you putting a bunch of sunscreen in your face, like a splash or something. I don't know. Something that really makes him stop scrolling. That's the idea. Imagine TikTok. Somebody's on TikTok all day, just going right. So what's gonna make them stop? Something that catches their attention. And I can go on and go on in video. I understand that you have more questions, so if you want, I can keep going. But if not, let's go to the next question.
Yeah, yeah. I think I remember one ad I saw. That ad was a cat product, and what was happening is the main keyword for the product, the cat was the videos edited in a way it looks like the cat was playing with that keyword,
Yeah.
and it
So
instantly.
yeah, I want. Sorry, I got a client once. He was selling water bottles, right? And the keyword he was running the ads for was a dishwasher safe water bottle. And the video he was using was somebody walking on the beach. And I would be like, so I'm looking for a dishwasher safe water bottle. The first thing I see somebody walking on the beach, doesn't make sense. What if we create something very creative of a water bottle being used in a dishwasher? Maybe put the camera inside of I don't know, something, right? So it's very important to have those videos, those sponsorized videos, connected to those keywords, because that's what people are searching for, and that's what you're paying for. You're paying for that keyword, right? So it's very, very important to have that. I'm so sorry to interrupt you, Sammy.
Yeah, not a problem. So, Rafael, you also talked about Premium Plus content. Okay, maybe we need to talk about that a little bit. So, Premium Plus content, because maximum sellers haven't yet tried it, because they obviously have a limitation, a criteria that they need to fulfill in order to get to that. So, you can talk about it. And when you talk about Premium Plus content, maybe Rafael, you can take it. What are the key differences that we can see against A plus content, the normal A plus content?
Yeah. So before it used to be very, very hard. You used to have to pay a lot of money to be able to get premium A plus content, like a lot of money. Now it's way easier. Is it a little bit complicated? It is, but it's like, believe me, it's super easy comparison to what it was before. So the most important thing is that you get more of a way to tell the story of your brand, right? So if it's a product, I love to use, I love to use supplements and things like that, because those are very, very complicated, because it's something that goes inside your body, or if it's a beauty brand, something that goes on top of your body. So value perception has to be like top notch. If not, it's most likely people are going to go with something else. So it gives you more space, gives you more modules, it gives you more to add a video. It gives you a sense of like it's its own little website within the Amazon listing. You have the Amazon store, yes, but this is gives you so much more that you're able to tell more of the story. As well, you have the carousels, which is interactive. So it's just a better way of being able to tell that story. I would say that's very important, guys, not to overdo the text. You have backend keywords as well. So don't overdo the text. Nobody reads instructions. Like, ask yourself, when was the last time I read an instruction? So keep text to the minimum. Don't think that this is Amazon 2015, because it's just not. That's why they're making A plus, premium A plus so affordable. It's because they want to help you increase that shopping experience for the buyers.
Yeah. Saddam, do you want to add something to it?
Yeah, for sure. As Rafael mentioned, I think there was a 250,000 or some ridiculous price, right? You had to pay to
Man,
get access to.
I was like, I want those clients.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I was like, who's paying for that? Someone paid, and that became a norm. But we also have to understand Amazon's verbiage on it. They said until this promotional A plus premium content is eligible for free, right? So I don't know if Amazon is just testing A plus premium content for free, or if they just want more of a buy-in from brands. But at some point, if you're not utilizing it, you might lose access to it, and it might be a paid feature. Just to let you know, that's it seems from the verbiage. Now let's talk about eligibility criteria. You need to have brand story on your ASINs. You need to have 15 A plus content cases uploaded. Now, that doesn't mean for 15 different ASINs. There's a little hack that I've heard. We're testing it out where you can just do it with one listing.
It
You
works.
just need it works. Okay, perfect. Confirmed from another expert as well. So, 15 A plus contents you can just upload on the same listing, and you'll get access to A plus premium content. Now, what I love absolutely about A plus premium content, and there's a lot of things that we can discuss, right? There's so many different features, but for the first time now, Amazon has learned to prioritize mobile shopping, which is 3 out of 4 of all the clicks registered on Amazon today,
Mhm.
right? I think it's a bit more than that, almost 80%. But the reason they had to optimize for mobile is because A plus content previously was just too much. There was
Yeah.
very little width, and there was too much text or too many images within an individual module. As for example, we had a 4 image module where people had to compress images and they had to talk about content. So now they have that carousel feature. So if you're not taking advantage of that, that's the biggest one that you can do. We see that work on Instagram. We see that work on Facebook. It's a really good shopping experience where you see the image one at a time as opposed to just being bombarded with a number of different images. Video is a really good add-on, right? So again, this is more brand focused videos. So maybe the video that you upload on the listing is a bit different. It talks about the product, but now for A plus premium content, you also want to promote cross selling and loyalty. So it has to be about the brand as well. Maybe just a generic brand video. The length, maximum length is about 3 minutes, but I think anything within 30 seconds will do a really good job. And then lastly, tables. The comparison and the tables have become a lot better than A plus content. Previously, you could have the comparison chart one module where
Yeah.
you just kind of list the features and compare different products. But now you can select the features and it will just give you information based on that. So if you want to know the sizes for each and every one of them, perfect. It'll show you the size. If you want to know maybe the colors, it'll show you which colors it comes in. So it's a lot more dynamic. And if you're not taking advantage of that, just by adding a video, carousel, and tables, it's going to get your conversion rate up at least. I don't want to say a number, but we've seen like a pretty good, significant 5 to 10% bump.
Yeah, I think that should be because after all, we as a shopper, we don't read, right? We hate reading anything like bullet points. Amazon they are trying to not show it, what they are trying to do right now. So I think that was a really awesome discussion with you guys today. We are almost past 30 minutes. So before we end the podcast, Saddam, where can people follow you?
Yeah, you guys can find us at amz1step.com. On Facebook, Instagram, we're AMZ One Step, YouTube, anywhere. We have really good content that comes out on a weekly basis on YouTube. And also, there's some really good blogs that we've written across the years on how to create good images, main images, visual references, all those exciting stuff you can find on our website.
Yeah. Rafael, where can people find you?
Sammy, thank you so much for having me, man. I really appreciate it. Where can they find us? You can find us everywhere through ShareItStudio. Like it says, my name right here,
Yeah.
ShareItStudio.com, Instagram, YouTube. We use a lot of YouTube. We find out that a lot of our customers like learning before they execute, which is obviously how humans are. And we launch 3 videos a week and one really good podcast, which is not a podcast, it's like a show. The next one's coming out May 5th. It features Sean Hart. I don't know if you guys haven't read this book by Sean Hart. I really, this is a price I won for a sponsored video. And it's called Millionaire Secrets. It's coming out. Check it out, guys, by Sean Hart. So yeah, everywhere. Instagram, YouTube, that's where we're most active at. LinkedIn as well. And ShareStudio.com. That's it.
That's great, guys. Thank you so much for joining today. It was a great discussion today. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Bye,
for
guys.
having
Take
me.
care.
Thank
See you,
you.
man. Ciao.